I'm Muñaños Gamer. This is Jesus from Jesus Gaming. Welcome back to the channel. And today I am awfully late to actually publish this video, but I want to join me as we are diving deep into the game that tries to mix things in a beloved genre. What happens when you take the exploration and backtracking of a Metroidvania and inject a heavy dose of co-op action, all set against a bleak retro-futuristic backdrop? You get Anima Flux. And before starting, I want to thank once again the good people of the Anima Flux developer team, because without them, Jesus Gaming will just remain in the past, at least since 2 years ago when I decided to, at best, be in a hiatus of content creation, and the good people of Anima Flux team encouraged me to getting back on gaming content creation at all. And without further ado, let's get started. Developed by the Anima Flux team at Avantaj Prim and published potentially in a partnership with JollyCo, Anima Flux launched on Steam for PC back in October 2024. It promised a unique blend of competitive gameplay within the traditional solo Metroidvania structure, wrapped in the 80s, 90s sci-fi aesthetics. But does this ambition mix work? It is a hidden gem, and thus following the execution, we'll cover the story, the unique gameplay mechanics, the visual, and what critics and players think. Anima Flux throws you into a pretty grim scenario. Humanity is in the last legs, followed in a final human city aboard a giant space ark. And guess what? It's under siege by hordes of grotesque mutants, apparently stemming from some ancient alien virus. Just lovely. Another layer of the dystopia is this last bastion of humanity is ruled by a theocratic totalitarian regime. Think Space Church meet Iron Fist. And you play as two of their finest, elite, genetically enhanced soldiers set into the repel the mutants and save the city, or what's left of it. The developers cite late 80s and early 90s retrofuturism as a major inspiration, and it shows the world feels oppressive, metallic, and dangerous, mixing advanced technological with biological horror. It delves into some heavy themes too, exploring what humanity might sacrifice for survival, questioning whether an existence under total control is worth preserving, even you fight it with external threats. The narrative is pushed forward by some nicely done hand-drawn animated cutscenes that really helps sell the dark, cosmic atmosphere and the character's difficult situation. Indeed, the biggest hook for Anima Flux is the emphasizing on co-op Metroidvania gameplay. You control two distinct characters, Roy, the melee specialist with a laser sword, and Eileen, the range expert with laser bow. The core idea is synergy. Roy handles the ground threats up close, while Eileen provides cover fire or takes out flying enemies. They have different skills and upgrade paths, and working together is crucial, especially during the challenging boss fights, which often require specific strategies and pattern recognition. Now, you can play this solo. When you do, the AI takes over the second characters, and surprisingly, many reviews suggest the AI partner is actually quite competent, sometimes more reliable than a human partner. And it seems adept at dodging and fighting effectively without taking unnecessary risks. However, some players know that AI can feel too passive, or that the enemy seems to be prioritized by the human player. From my perspective, during my walkthroughs in live streaming, I get a lot of this scenario. The game strongly emphasizes its local couch co-op route. One neat feature is how it handles screen space when players separate. Instead of immediate split screen, it zooms out, and if players get really apart, the second player appears in a small picture-in-picture window until they regroup. It's a unique solution. Of course, during my time during the live walkthrough of Anima Flux, I didn't have anybody to play with locally, so I didn't have the opportunity to try this out. Beyond the co-op is a Metroidvania. You're exploring interconnected zones, fight enemies, solve environmental puzzles, and upgrade your characters. You unlock new abilities like dashing, a ground slam to break floors, or ways to destroy barriers, allowing you to access previously unreachable areas. These are fast travel points, mostly elevators connecting to a central hub, and NPCs who offer quests or sales upgrades. However, this is where some frustration creep in. Many players reported that combat, especially early on, feels a bit slow and clunky. Enemies can sometimes feel like damage sponge, and crowd encounters can get messy. The map system is another point of contention. Apparently, you play for quite a while without a map, leading to confusion and getting lost in a repetitive-looking corridors and elevator shaft early on. Not in my point of view, to be fair. But even so, Once unlocked, navigating the large worlds can sometimes feel tedious to the limited fast travel options. The platform in itself is generally considered functional, but not particularly complex or innovative. And I kinda disagree with that notion. In the visual aspect, Anima Flux definitely has strong identity. The hand-drawn art style, evoking those classic sci-fi cartoons and comics from the 80s and the 90s, is a highlight. Cutscenes were well animated and add a lot to the storytelling. Environments effectively convey the gritty, oppressive atmosphere of the space arc, balancing shiny tech with decayed and biological infestation. Also, characters and enemies designs fit the theme well, though some reviews mention that certain areas can feel visually repetitive after a while. The soundtrack generally gets praised for being atmospheric and complementing the action and exploration, immersing you further into this dark future. So, how was Anima Flux received? It seems to be a mixed bag, leaning towards cautiously positive. On Metacritic, it holds a score suggesting it's decent but perhaps not essentially playing, and I disagree with that. Reviews consistently praise the ambitious co-op concept, the distinct art style, and the atmospheric world building. However, there's also common criticism focusing on the frustrating early game navigation before getting the map, the sometimes clunky or slow-paced combat, enemies respawning frequently, and the balanced quirks between solo and co-op play, with co-op sometimes being harder due to human error compared to efficient AI. I do want to say that, yeah, there's point of the game that probably feels like repetitive because, of course, like any other Metroidvania game, it's about going through certain areas, repeat going through areas, then gain access to new areas within the old areas. Since its PC launch, the developer seems to have been actively holding Ask Me Anything sessions before releasing and confirming the game is playable on Steam Deck. They also stated plans to bring Anima Flux to consoles, and recently they announced that Anima Flux will be coming to both Xbox Series S and X and Xbox One console. So, should you play Anima Flux? It's an ambitious game with cool concept, merging co-op play with the exploration and progression of a Metroidvania, all wrapped in a stylish retro dystopian package. The unique co-op integration, even if solo AI is strong, the striking hand-drawn art style and atmosphere, and an intriguing dark sci-fi setting. That's all the pros. I did raise, and probably this will be the cons. I raised about a kind of feel is slow and or satisfying at time, but this was because I managed to have the game in early games version or early access version, but definitely the improvements fell during my live walkthrough. Ultimately, Anima Flux feels like a game with great ideas that aren't always perfect executed. If you're a die-hard Metroidvania fan looking for a co-op twist and you have the patience to push through some initial roughness, especially concerning navigation, it is offered a unique experience. Remember, this is a Metroidvania. This is what Metroidvania games is about. If Metroidvania is not your forte, even though a polished solo experience, you might get frustrated by navigational challenges and lack of janky combat. Again, this is what Metroidvania is, but evidently Metroidvania is not for everyone. To me, it's actually a genre reminder that the Metroidvania exists and is stronger than ever. It is an interesting experiment. So let me know in the comments, what do you think? Have you played Anima Flux, or are you interested in a co-op Metroidvanias? Remember to hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell for everything gaming news, retro gaming, gaming review, and gaming info in general. This is Jesus from Jesus Gaming. Health and success, and happy gaming.